Today on MOE'S Toy Room, we're going to unbox from Neca and Real Toys. Here comes the Universal Monsters, Lon Chaney as the Phantom of the Opera. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of MOE'S Toy Room, come from my room to yours. And today we're going to take a look at from Neca and Real Toys. Here comes the Phantom of the Opera, played by Lon Chaney. This 1925 classic is now in action figure form. Neca and Real Toys has brung it. The Universal Monsters, they have been delivering them to us one after another after another. The last one that I reviewed, unboxed and reviewed on this channel was The Bride of Frankenstein. Now we are blessed with Neca and Real Toys version of the Phantom of the Opera, this 1925 classic, played by the late Lon Chaney. You can see the front of this box just looks beautiful. This looks like an old painting. Old window art, whatever you want to call this, a nice, beautiful advertisement poster for this movie when it came out, this Universal Monsters classic in 1925. He is one of the forefathers. I mean, it goes back to him. Lon Chaney, this film is a silent movie, and I watched this movie probably about twice, probably 2 times yesterday before doing this review to make sure I was watching this thing right. It could be long, to have a longer version and a shorter version, but it's very interesting because it is a silent movie, so yeah, you're going to definitely have to read some. But the music is pretty entertaining and the acting is very over the top. This is for ages 17 and up. Yeah, choking hazards. This could contain small choking hazards that are not intended for children, especially under 3 years old. All right, you can see the side of the box right there of this monster, Lon Chaney as the Phantom of the Opera. You know, the Phantom, there you go. And then there he is on the back. He looks like he's going to bring some things. So he brings his bamboo stick. What he did with the bamboo stick is he would stick it in his mouth and then he would use it underneath water for that way he could breathe underneath water as he was going to where he lived. And then this was like an alternate face that he would put on to hide his horrendous looking, monstrous looking face. But this dude was pretty smooth because he would whisper to, I believe the young lady was Christina or Christine in the, you know, after her performances or during her performances, in like a supposedly a beautiful voice. So we never got to hear that voice, so we don't know how beautiful it was. But you know, on the titles, it would say, yeah, he's whispering in a beautiful voice. So there you go. And then also here he is on the other side. Let's take a look with this opening of this flap. There he is in action figure form, how he could look with the right diorama. A lot of people are going to love this figure because of who he is. His story's a little twisted, yes it is, but a lot of people are going to love this figure very much. And I want to send a shout out to Luis Barcelio. Yeah, I know he's going to do some magic with this figure. So if you have never been to his channel, please do so, Luis Barcelio. Check out what he does because he will not only buy one copy, but he'll buy another copy and deck it out. And it turns out really awesome because he likes to be screen accurate. But as far as like screen accurate on this particular figure, it's going to be a little difficult due to the fact that Neca has to try to bring this figure to life for us, okay? Because the film is very greenish and very reddish at times, so you really can't see too much of how he really looks. And plus the film's very old. It tends to bring all these alternate heads right here, and then he has the face, he has his hat, bamboo stick, there he is inside, alternate hands, and this thing is going to bring a backdrop, definitely. So there you have Lon Chaney as the Phantom of the Opera, kicking back behind his window, paying locked in his plastic prison, as he has finally made it here to the Universal Monsters side of MOE'S Toy Room. All right, folks, first off, tail of the tape. The Phantom is checking in at slightly over 7 1/4 inches from very bottom of foot to very top of his hair right there. And to be more accurate, it's more like 18.5 centimeters. All right, so this Phantom is pretty cool looking, and he has some of the very oddest looking faces. I want to go on to say that Neca went on to, I think, overdo it a little bit on the paint, because on the actual movie, it doesn't look like he has all this much makeup on his face. But I could be wrong. I would love to see an actual photo of him off screen in this attire to really be able to tell, because the screen, the film is very reddish and very greenish at times. But I think Neca probably gave us a little bit more, especially in the mouth area and around the eyes and the cheeks, to really make him stand out and look more monstrous. But yeah, he looks really good to me. I think I love the way that this looks. And there's even a part on the movie, I believe, where his undershirt right there was black. It looked black at the time. I could be mistaken, but yeah, I watched this film playback twice. So, but anyway, he is looking really good, and he's being a little stubborn. So I will give him a quick turn for you can see how he looks. Okay, there you go. All right, so reality-wise, Lon Chaney was only like 5'7". Okay, he was born in 1883, I believe, according to Google, and then Google said that he passed away at 1930s. So he was 47 years old when he passed away, very young age, and he only passed away, what, 5 years after he made this movie, The Phantom of the Opera, came to mainstream. So there you go. All right, so let's set him back real quick and show you the goodies that he brings. So he tends to bring this, the little diorama. You can see how that looks right there, and you could even stick it behind him if you wanted to, if you knew how to do some magic with that. Look how good that looks. Looks fantastic. Okay, and then he brings some alternate hands. Okay, so let's see here how we can do this. You can see these. These are all on a hinge. Look how they look. Very good. They look really good, you know. But yeah, very easy, and they work real good. So there you have it. And then he brings another pair. This guy brings a lot of goodies. So this will probably be the hand that he'll use to hold the cane up. Well, his bamboo stick. And yeah, they did a really good job with this. And then he also brings some alternate heads. Look at that one. Looks really good. I'm digging it. Yeah, Neca had to really dig to bring this guy to life. I'm gonna be honest with you, because now this one seems to have less paint. So this one would be kind of what I saw on screen, but even with a little less paint. But it's so weird that in those days in 1925, they were able to do a scene where he comes out of water and he's going in and out of water and he still looked the same. One hell of a makeup artist. They did a very good job with Lon Chaney in those days. And he would take some risks too. And then this one right here, this would be one where he would be looking down at, I believe it was Christine or Christina, and just laughing at her, like kind of in her face. I don't know, trying to intimidate her. After he pretty much kidnapped her and convinced her to go with him. So, yeah, he was that kind of guy. He's very weird. Okay. And then he had this face right here. So this would be the mask that he would wear, and he would talk to her through. And then I don't know if this was a piece of tape that was on there, and it would move like when he would talk. And then he had like this thing that held it on. And then he would actually wear a hat over that. So he would put the hat on, and it would be, is this the right way? Let's see here. Yeah, I think that might be the right way. No, maybe this way. So he would put the hat on, and he would look very much like that. And it brings a hat. No, this ain't a Freddy Krueger hat, but this hat is made very well. Looks very nice. I like the way that they did this. Very good material. Very soft molded plastic too. And then he would bring the little cane, okay? So you wondered why he would carry this thing around. And the reason as to why is because when he would go into water, he would pop this thing in his mouth, and then he would swim underneath the water, and he even like hooked this dude out of a boat and like pulled him down and just, I guess, fought him to his death just to get away, for he could get away. So, but anyway, here is the cane. And plus he would whip some butt with this thing too. I mean, okay, the very imposing and very threatening Phantom. And then also he has his robe. Now the funny thing about this robe, okay, is you can see the material is velvet and everything else. The only time I really saw a velvet robe is when he comes down the staircase with the skull face on and he's decked out in red. Now, as far as getting to be able to see the shine and everything on this, I don't know if I really saw this. So, but I'm going to assume that this one too was velvet. I thought maybe like the inside seam of it was, but I could be wrong. So yeah, just leave it in the comments. Let me know. Very hard to tell when you watch the actual movie, but Neca obviously dug a little bit more than I did. So yeah, here you go. We got a velvet robe. All right, so turn him to the side. Head barely looks down, looks up pretty decent. But as far as looking down, yeah, this just all gets in the way right here. Soft molded plastic right here for his bow tie. The material is it's the average molded plastic, softer molded for the actual coat. And then his trousers are a little bit softer molded plastic. And then the rest is pretty much what we've always gotten with the Universal Monsters. A little bit harder plastic, but not too hard. But one other gripe that I got with this figure is in the trouser area. I don't know if it gives us a good enough shot in the actual movie to see if he was a little bit more thinner around here. I could be mistaken. Take a look at the movie. Let me know what you think. I don't know if he was as wide through here. So, but he looked a lot taller in the movie, the way that they would get him to move. But the reality of it is he's only like 5'7" in real life. But anyway, his head, he does hit that Michael Myers. Looks a little deranged and crazy. Obviously, his head could spin around. You can see how that looks. Looks real strange. Okay, hands will go up and around. Okay, this is how they go. Doesn't quite yet hit 90, but almost, very close. Okay. And then his arms have a single joint, but they have rotation at that joint. So you got that. So it's really cool. Very cool that NECA did that. And from the back, look how that just hides. Looks fantastic. If you want to see the under backside of his trousers, there you go. Yeah, they just nailed it with all the little buttons. Everything just looks fantastic. All right. And as far as his hands, obviously he has very good hand movement and they move super well. His hands are moving, to be honest, like a Mezco 112 figure. So yeah, this figure so far is very impressive and tends to bring a lot. Right here at the waist, he does have that waist swivel rotation right there. It looks like this is just one piece, so this is what he's going to have. And then yeah, he's definitely going to be running because he does run in that movie. And he walks really, the way he walks is just very strange in that movie. And there's his Bruce Lee sidekick. And if you want to see the undercarriage of that, there you have it right there. And then right here at the knee area, we're going to have that swivel rotation. So you can see right there in the back, you can see that hinge. So you're just going to have a single joint. And then he does have that swivel rotation right there at the knee. Okay, and then his feet will go down. They don't go up too well. And then as far as like a tilt rocker, he does have a pretty good tilt rocker. So yeah, you could get your Phantom to do a lot of things. All right, so I do want to point out, now that I have his head off, on his cape, he has a hard piece right here. So you're going to have to take the head off first to put this on, and then you're going to have to mount on one of his other alternate heads. So here's how they would have seen the Phantom running around through the theater with that alternate face on. That's how he would have looked with that one mask. And you're wondering why the cape looks like that. It tends to have a bendy wire inside the front of it. So you could bend this thing to move however you want, because in this movie, that thing's going to be flapping all over the place. And there's even a part towards the end where he is on this big old thing on top of this building, kind of like King Kong was. He was on this big old like statue or monument or whatever, and he's just flying in the wind. It looks like this thing is just going all over the place. So, but he doesn't have this head on. He has this other alternate head on. But yeah, look how that looks. It looks real good. That's how he looks with his actual disguise face. So with the cane, you could see they even left a hole in the bottom of the cane, which looks cool. That would be where he would breathe through. But that's a cool touch that NECA did that. I really like that. So yeah, they did a really good job. Yeah, so that is the hand that he would use. There he is with the other alternate hands on, with his face that he would have with the mask on it. That's how people would see him running around through the back of the theater over there, where he would stalk his prey. So here is our Phantom with another set of alternate hands on. You could really see how that cape works wonders and works magic. It just lines up perfectly with these alternate hands. There he is with one of his other alternate heads on. This is a fantastic piece. I am loving this thing. Here he is with another alternate head on. This would be the head where he tends to seem like he's a little bit more confident with himself now that he is trying to explain himself to the girl that he's just pretty much kidnapped. Yeah, this guy is a manipulator. I mean, he manipulated another girl for the part to get her to leave, right? And then he even dropped a chandelier on top of the crowd, a big giant one, just for this one girl, Christina, that he was madly in love with, can get the starring role, right? This is very weird. And then he would go on to kidnap her and then threaten her because she's engaged to another man. And then he's even trying to kill that guy. So it's like, this dude's did kidnapping. He's did everything you could think of. And yet, he's a universal monster. Yeah. All right, so this would be the face that he would use when he'd be shouting right in her face. There's parts where he gets right up in her face and just scares her to death, just shouting at her. Yeah, this guy, yeah, very strange. I don't know if he owns the underworld that he's in, where he would swim to, where he would live. I don't know if that was actually his or if he was just squatting. I mean, he was that kind of guy. So you got him for bullying, for kidnapping, for squatting, for violent acts, for battery, for everything else you could think of, murder. This dude does it all. So for 1925, scary looking face like that, yeah, no wonder the audience was in a trance. So overall, here is what the Phantom brings. Our Phantom definitely delivered. They are hitting now, so hit up your local Targets. See if you could get yourself one. Big Bad Toy Store also has them in stock. I believe they could range for about $36.99. You could try a lot of other places, such as my guys over here at Comic and Figure Addicts in Union City, California. He might have just gotten them in. I'd have to check with Juan on that one. Not sure. But also Nightmare Toys would also have them. And over here in San Leandro, California, you also have Jorge at the Toy Shop, who also might have them in stock. So give them a shot. But if your best bet would probably be Big Bad Toy Store, $36.99. And here's our Phantom. All right, folks. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, and please smash that like button. Let's see if we can get this video to over 10 likes. Can we get it to 20? It only helps our channel grow, folks, for that way I could do more videos like this one in the future. So make sure that you're subscribed to this channel and make sure you hit that bell for notifications so that way the next time you don't never miss one of these ever again from here from Moe's Toy Room. So from Moe's Toy Room to yours, everyone, good night.